There is an absurdity to some of the verses in the way, that this idea of doing without doing on the surface of it is kind of absurd. How do you do something without doing something? What's up with that? Hi, this is Rick Julian, author of The Way. And today we are going to talk about the philosophy of flow, known in Chinese as Wu Wei, roughly translated to inaction. And in the West, the term has been popularized by the phrase being in the zone. The story goes that many years ago, Picasso was in a restaurant when he was approached by a woman who handed him a napkin and asked him to do a sketch for her. Picasso took out his pen and began to draw, and a short time later held up the drawing to show her what he had created, a beautiful line drawing of a dove. She began to reach for it, and he withdrew it and said, "That will be $100,000, madame." She said, $100,000? It took you 30 seconds to draw that. He said, "No, madame. It took me 40 years to draw that." I think the story wonderfully illustrates one of the two fundamental components of the flow, that is mastery. The other component being what I would call situational awareness. So let's begin with mastery. Picasso's ability to create a work of art on demand was the fruit of 40 years of practice, of cultivating his talent to a degree of expertise that he was able to, within 30 seconds, create this beautiful work without thinking about it. There was an uninterrupted connection between his thought and the tip of his pen. There wasn't any deliberation about the amount of pressure he should apply to the paper, the width of his stroke, the arc of this line, the expression of it. All of that flowed naturally from him. Each of those characteristics an artifact of his mastery. He was able to do it without thinking. In this way, he was able to do without doing, which is another way that we formulate this concept in the Tao Te Ching, in the way. So mastery is a critical component. The other component is situational awareness. In American football, at the beginning of a game and after every score, there is a kickoff. And 11 defensive players on one end of the field rush toward the receiver of that kickoff. The receiver's goal is to traverse the length of the field from the point that he catches that ball and to cross over the goal line to score. That is his intention. Now, in the pursuit of scoring, if he had a one-track mind and said, "I am just going to take the crow's path from where I am to where I want to go," the shortest path is a straight line. And here come all of these people charging toward him, and he's going to encounter them. If they happen to be in front of them, he's going to just plow through them. That would usually result in a return of about 10 yards, 15 yards. it ends up being a very bad idea just to go in with a single plan. What the best returners do, the ones who have the highest degree of success, is they see this chaotic formation of people running toward them with very bad intention. And the good receiver is always going to notice that there is an opening here or there, or right? And it's happening all in real time. And these openings are constantly appearing and then closing and then shifting. But he is going to find one, and he is going to go through it, through the opening, not through this mass of people. So he has this situational awareness, this awareness of this very moment. He is calmly present, even amid this chaos, and he makes a read on the situation, and he chooses his opportunity. And he will make the same kind of decision many times during his transit down the field. Now, that is the situational awareness of being present in the moment, identifying obstacles, identifying opportunities, and making the correct choice of what to do in response to those things. Now let's combine that with this mastery piece. The mastery piece is the skill that he has acquired since he first began playing football as an 8-year-old in Pop Warner League, where he learned how to carry the ball so that it wouldn't be easily dislodged. He learned how to fake and juke, to act like he was going this way and then cut that way. He learned how to vary the tempo of his speed, hesitation, acceleration, deceleration, stopping, turning. And over the course of all the many years, the repetition of all of that practice landed in this moment of his professional career. And he didn't, as a consequence of all that practice, those 10,000 hours that we often hear about, he did not have to think about what to do. He merely did what his instinct led him to do. And that ability to, again, identify obstacles and opportunities, to make a choice, a calm choice on the best way to approach an opportunity and to avoid an obstacle, and then the skill to take advantage of that moment so that one's action is not interrupted with deliberation and thought and planning, but is just a pure exercise of one's instinct. Those two things combine to being in the flow. Those two things combine to being in the zone, to doing without doing, because the mind is at ease. It is not active. Doing without doing. I will tell you that I don't know that I have ever seen anyone who doesn't have a high level of skill talk about being in the zone. If you've ever gone to the YMCA and played basketball, you'll see some guys, sometimes it's me, who would say, all right, I didn't score any points. I got my shot blocked 10 times. The ball was stolen from me 4 times. But man, I was really in the zone. No, that doesn't tend to happen. So let's land this plane. Let's ground this lesson in something pragmatic and practical. So the question becomes, so how do I cultivate this ability to be in the zone? How can I activate Wu Wei in my life? It's possible in all things. There is a flow in all things in nature, the way rivers flow around rocks. The way a deer that's running through the woods is able to weave her way through the trees and over fallen branches and all of those things. Again, not thinking about all of this stuff. It's helpful to be reminded that you already possess many skills that reflect a sense of flow, and you do them on a regular basis. Walking is probably one of the most familiar ones to you. You won't remember, but I'm sure your parents have pictures or video of you as a toddler taking one step and falling, and then getting up, and 2 steps and falling, and getting up and falling, and getting up. It's an acquired skill, but with time, focus, persistence, determination, you acquire a degree of mastery, so that now, as an adult, when you want to go from here to there, you don't think about putting one foot in front of the other. You weren't trying to strike some balance with your hands and holding on to things to get over there. You just go over there. You're in the flow. You have it mastered. If someone starts to come across your path, you have this situational awareness, and you stop, or you accelerate, or you back up. You're not thinking about all of that. You are just reacting in the moment without a lot of processing. So you already do that. Similarly, when you were driving. Driving is a very, very complicated thing to do, driving a car. Looking and accelerating and looking around and being aware of traffic and speed limit and lights and pedestrians and other cars and needing to merge. I mean, there's a very, very complex set of skills that you had to acquire in order to be able to drive without effort. But you did it by time, practice, focus, and perseverance. And you have it mastered now to the point where you can be driving and having a conversation and changing the radio and thinking about, what your list of to-dos are for the afternoon. You can do all of that without really giving a lot of thought to where your hands are on the steering wheel. Should I accelerate? Should I be stopping? You're just doing that. You are in the flow. What else can we apply this to? It really is infinite. If it's about cooking, there can be wu wei in how to chop your vegetables. It's a very, very refined skill if you're doing a mise en place. There's a wu wei to talking to your children, to maintaining your relationship. Any and everything that you can do that you do as a normal part of your day can be infused with this level of mastery that allows you to get to effortlessness. I wish you the perseverance, the willingness to put in the time, to be patient with yourself, to put in the focus, so that one fine day you find yourself doing without doing. Peace.